Marriage Clinic TV.
Hi viewers, welcome to another edition of Marriage Clinic Live. How are you today? I remain your host, Marlai, and open to thank you so much for joining me today on this edition of Marriage Clinic Live. I would like to say a big thank you to all our followers on our YouTube channel. I would like to say thank you to you all. To all our followers as well on our Facebook group, thank you. You, our new members, we'll celebrate you all. We are glad you joined us. Thank you. I can assure you that you're going to be learning a lot from here because we have lots of resourceful content that will help you in your journey through marriage and through life generally. I can assure you that. Just make sure you visit our YouTube channel, search out for related videos that affect, your marriage or your area of interest. Look out for those videos. Even on our Facebook group page, Marriage Clinic, try to look out for the post that relates to the issues you are currently going through in your marriage. I tell you, you will have clarity, you will have insight on what to do and how to forge ahead. So today I would like to speak on the topic that I have titled, how much consideration do you give your spouse? How much of consideration do you give your spouse? Now I want us to know that consideration is very, very important in marriage. Consideration, you have to consider each other. You have to be considerate as someone who is going into marriage, who is going to be living with another person, someone that is hoping to have a family, to build a home and a family of his or her own for a very long time, and you intend to be on that journey for a lifetime. I tell you, you have to be super considerate. Consideration is one of the things that will help your marriage to thrive. Consideration is one of the things that will help you to have a peaceful home and a peaceful marriage. If you want peace in your home, then you got to be considerate. You have to be considerate of each other. You have to consider your husband. You have to consider your wife in whatever choices you are making, in whatever decision you are making, in even whatever it is that you are doing. There are so many ways we can be considerate towards each other. An example is a husband and a wife, living together under the same roof, and you can tell that, oh, maybe your wife is pregnant, and because of her situation, if you are really considerate of the fact that she's pregnant, then you will willfully volunteer to help out with the house chores, with the cleaning, with lifting up the heavy objects in the house, so that she doesn't have to do that. That you helping out means you are giving consideration to her. Another example is when your spouse is sick or they are ill. Something should tell you that, oh, at this present moment, this spouse is not feeling well, and as a result, you need to fill in for them. If you are considerate of that spouse, then you will help them out to do the things that they would naturally do if they were strong. So that is giving consideration to your spouse. Another example of giving consideration to our spouse is respecting the labor of your spouse, respecting the labor of each other. You know that this thing is as a result of the sweat and the labor of your spouse, but you don't mind wasting it. You don't mind squandering it. You want to use it for yourself. You want to take ownership of everything. You want to use it for yourself and yourself alone. You are not even considering that the person that is even also contributing, putting in his money, putting in our money, also need to partake of whatever benefit is coming out from that labor. You are not thinking of it like that. Your own is just to spend, to squander. You are not even thinking, okay, where this money is coming from. Is the person earning this income even enjoying something out of it, and this pertains to people that are not considerate at all, with their spouse when it comes to maybe their income, their labor, their contribution towards the success or financial prosperity of the home. There was a case on Marriage Clinic recently where someone said, oh, we've been contributing into a joint account and it's now time to buy or purchase a property, and my husband wants to put only his name on that property. I could see the reaction. I mean, the whole post was, everyone was like, no way, that shouldn't happen. I want to tell you that husband is very inconsiderate of his wife, because if he were to be considerate, he would know that his wife's labor, his wife's sweat, his wife's effort is also, part of that, and as a result, he should, willingly, no one should even compel him to make sure that his name and his wife's name would be on the property together. Now, these are part of giving considerations, to each other. That, this wife you married or this husband you married, is an orphan. Maybe they don't have a parent anymore, and they still have siblings, but you still go ahead to disconnect them, from siblings or from relatives or family members that that they would like to maintain the relationship between themselves, and that relationship still give your spouse some comfort, some joy, yet you make sure she cut off that relationship just because she has gone into marriage with you. That is being inconsiderate. You are married, that your spouse would have gone to work from morning, and maybe due to the distance where he or she worked, they will not be coming back until late at night, and you got home early. As a man or a woman, if you got home early, you should be thinking, oh, how can I even help to see that, oh, some things are done, some things have been fixed. Even if you can't fix the dinner, although some people would not mind, they will fix the dinner. Once they get home on time, they will fix the dinner, because they know that the other party may not come home, until late at night. So they go ahead, fix the dinner, they go ahead, help the kids with their homework, they go ahead to fix a lot of things before the other party comes, because the truth is, by the time he or she returns at night, they are already worn out, they are already exhausted. What is on their mind is resting, taking a break from the day's job. So are you considerate? Because if you are considerate, you will willingly help out, you will willingly take up some responsibility of them, just to see things going, see things running. And a woman was speaking to me yesterday about the fact that my husband knows that there is no light in our area, and she said that there is no light in their area, no electricity supply, and as a result, they have to use generator, and the husband knows that she is not in good health to be able to pull the generator, and he closes early from work, and he knows she cannot pull the generator in her state, in the present health situation she is in, and yet he would still stay back after work to go hang out with friends and come back home very late at night, and he will leave them in the dark for hours until he returns late at night. Now that is an inconsiderate spouse, because if you are considerate, something will tell you that, oh, my wife that is at home will not be able to pull the generator, let me go home straight after work to help out with pulling the generator. Then when that is sorted and I see that they are in good condition, they have light at home, then I may decide to go out there to see friends or to do whatever thing I had wanted to do after work. But now leaving them in the dark is being inconsiderate. And part of inconsideration too is being very insensitive to our spouse feelings, to their emotions, to their needs, to their yearnings, to their wants, And let me tell you something. When someone is inconsiderate in marriage, it simply means that the person is a selfish person. The person is a selfish being. You are only thinking about yourself. You, I, myself, just you are not thinking about the other party. And see, marriage is about both of you and even your children. You have to be considerate of even your children. No matter how young these children are, you have to consider them in whatever you are doing. You wife, you have to be considerate of your husband. You husband, you have to be considerate of your wife. When you give consideration to each other, I tell you, there will be lesser conflict, the love will grow, there will be trust. You will be trusted, because your spouse will be able to say, oh no, my husband is not like that, my wife is not like that. But when you are inconsiderate, when you are selfish, you cannot be trusted. Your moves will be suspicious. Everything you do, your spouse will be suspecting you, because they are not even sure if your motives are pure, for whatever it is you are doing. So consideration is a big deal in marriage. If you want your marriage to really last, if you want your marriage to thrive, to be at peace, you need to be considerate of each other. Another woman was talking to me yesterday, and she said, when my husband had a job, he was very responsible. He was doing all his responsibility. He would pick up his bills, pay his bills and all of that. But since his place of work started to have financial challenges, and they begin to hold them salaries and all of that, the man can no longer pay his bills. That is gradually becoming irresponsible, because he can no longer pay bills. Then it's the wife that is now paying the bills and all of that, and that he has been searching for another job, but he has not gotten one yet. But she is getting tired. And I said, say, listen, you said something. You said when this man had the job and the job was paying him, that he has been very responsible. You as a woman, if you are considerate of that, if you are considerate of the man, you will know that, when he had a job, he was doing his responsibility. So you should know that now that he does not have, that he needs your support, you should not be complaining. You should help to carry the burden, temporarily, pending the time he will find maybe another job, or his company would get back on foot, and something changes. And if nothing changes in the company where they are owing him, let it encourage him to look for another job. But madam, you can't now start complaining, because you said that when he had a job, he was doing his responsibilities. That is part of being considerate. Because if you are considerate towards him, then you would know that he needs your support at this moment, not your complaint. What he needs is your support, is your encouragement, covering his shame. And same goes for the man as well. You know that, currently your wife is not working, not because she's lazy, especially when she's not the lazy type that is using children as an excuse not to want to do anything. If you know that she's the hardworking type and you are considerate, then you should know that she will have needs, and you that you are working should be able to fund those needs and meet those needs for her, pending the time that maybe our kids will be grown, and they will be able to go to school, and she will be free to do other things. This consideration thing is a big deal in marriage. If you are not considerate of your spouse, I tell you, there can be no peace in that house. You like to rest, you like your own rest, you like your relaxation, you like your me time, but you don't want your wife to rest, or you don't want your husband to rest. You don't want them to have their own me time. You don't want them to have their own relaxation time. I mean, how reasonable is that? Because if you are really considerate, if rest is good for you and rest is good for your body, you should know that rest is equally good for your spouse. When it's time for them to rest, allow them to rest. It's not the time that you will now say, it is your resting time that I want you here, or that I need your attention, and rob them of the time they should use to rest, or now mount burden, pile work, chores for them to do. That is not right. let's be considerate of each other. And you men, you should know that your wives are weaker vessels, and weaker vessels mean they are not as physically strong as you are, and you should not watch your wife lifting heavy objects and doing things that may be too much, you know, for her to lift. So being considerate means helping them how to lift heavy objects and things you know may be beyond their power. Let's help out each other. Marriage is about sacrifices. Marriage is about commitment to make sure things are going on well, things are working. And you should not be the type of spouse that wants to only enjoy the benefits that comes from the marriage and don't want to take responsibility, or you want to be just the only one that will be enjoying the benefit of the marriage. See, let me tell you something. Even if that other spouse does not fight, vengeance is of God. God will fight for her, and God will fight for him. Is vice versa. And by the time God starts to fight, you will ask yourself, who did you offend? Because you will not believe the things that will befall you. So let's be careful what we do to each other. Let's be careful how we even cheat our spouse. You know, it may not be cheating in the area of maybe sex or being promiscuous, but even cheating them in the area of transaction, you know, trying to chance them, trying to cheat them here, cheat them there, deprive them of this, deprive them of that. I tell you, God is watching. You may think, you are the head. Yeah, God is watching, and when God begins to fight for that spouse, I tell you, you will become scared for your life. So please and please, as married couples, let's know what we are doing. You cannot afford to continue to be selfish in that marriage. Selfishness kills. Selfishness destroys. Selfishness would even make you lose that marriage if you don't quickly do something about it and start making amendment and corrections. Because if it's just about you, what you stand to benefit, what you stand to gain, and you care less about the other party, I tell you, it's only a matter of time. Something will fall apart. So let's pay attention to these things. Let's make the necessary amendment, the necessary correction, and as we do so, I pray that God will help us all, that peace will be restored in our home, you know, that understanding will be restored in our home, and God's blessing will be upon our lives as we start to do things right and to do what is right. So I would like to stop here now. I hope you've been able to learn something. Please don't forget to share this video with someone whom you think needs to hear this. Share it with them. They will really learn a great deal from this. Share it with your husband, share it with your wife, share it with whoever needs to hear this. And please, let's also know your thought on this in the comment section below. We would like to hear from you what you think on this topic of consideration. It is very important that we are considerate of each other in marriage. Don't also forget to give us a like the video as much as you can, and we appreciate you all. I would like to stop here now. I remain your host, Morla, and hopefully we'll meet again. I say